The most important thing I can ever share to anyone ever is if you are one of the ones who has something positive to offer to the world, offer it. If you had told me 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 20 years ago that Danielle, you would be getting on YouTube and trying to encourage other people to start a YouTube channel, I would be like, that's hilarious. But the truth is, that's exactly what I'm doing. And I'm kind of making an assumption that you did not click on this just because you watch every single video I make, but that you actually have in the back of your head this idea, maybe I should start a YouTube channel. I'm Danielle, homeschooling mother of 7. I've been doing YouTube for over 2 years. Surprising. I'm the girl who can't sign into her email because she can't remember her password. So I'm going to give you my 10 reasons why I think it is beneficial to start a YouTube channel. 1, if you can help someone, encourage someone with your strengths, your expertise, your skills, your knowledge base, your humor, you should. And you're not just limited to your sphere of influence anymore. There's so much going on in the world that is negative, that is spiteful, malicious, gossiping, drama. Be the positive. Be the ones out there that are shining your light brightly, sharing your tips, sharing your tricks, sharing your encouragement to the rest of us. Someone just saying on the other end of a video, you're not the only one. You can do this thing. Number 2, creative expression. Okay, I always consider myself a creative person, and I kept having kids, and my creative expression went, it just tanked. I used to play the piano. I used to play it for my husband. I used to play it for my kids. I used to play it for enjoyment, my personal enjoyment. I used to write constantly. For every anniversary, I'd give my husband a sonnet. Life and exhaustion, it just takes it right out of you sometimes. And to have an avenue where if you can get past yourself, if you can get past that nervousness, put yourself out there with the understanding that not everyone's gonna like you. People aren't always gonna like what you have to say. If you understand those things, but yet you can still have fun giving something of yourself, of who you are, something that no one else actually has the power to give. Isn't that amazing? That your unique set is unique only to you, with your skills and your personality, the information you have, the experience you have. That's a very powerful thing. And at the same time, wanting to present your best foot forward so that you can make positive impact and not add to the general negativity. But this has been a really fun endeavor for me. I was getting a little stunted. I was feeling stinted. I wasn't creating, and it's been a great experience to be able to stretch. In fact, that's my next reason. Growth. Personal growth. To be able to stretch and do something that you never thought you could before. I can honestly say that if I can learn how to use an editing software, if I can learn how to upload my own videos and do a thumbnail, I'm pretty much certain that any of you can. I'm not being demeaning when I say about myself that I was as dumb as rocks when it came to this stuff. And I've had to stretch and I've had to grow. And sometimes it's made me want to cry and pull out my hair and poke my eye with my finger. What a weird thing to say, I know. But there you have it. So often it's better to have a partner, an accountability partner, someone who keeps you accountable. And that's kind of what YouTube has been for me, in the sense that I made my goals. I'm like, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna give it a serious go. I'm gonna upload a video once a week. Number 4 is impact. You guys, the world is very big, and now the world is at our fingertips. It's amazing, it's scary, it's just weird, but there can be these beautiful and inspirational things that not only you get to witness, but you can share with potentially thousands of people. This to me requires a little bit of thought, and we should feel the responsibility of this. And I am extremely reticent to put anything out that would add to someone's burden. I want to be an encouragement to other moms out there, other people in their journey, in their life. I want to encourage people to seek God. I mean, seriously. Guys, get to know God. He's real. He exists. He created this world we live in. He's amazing. He loves you. Get to know Jesus. Really. I love the idea that we can be part of the answer and not all the questions. Next, I think it's maybe 5, is community. We have this opportunity to build a community bigger than just the people in a radius of 5 or 10 miles. I have access to other homeschool moms that don't even live in the same country, let alone the same state or the same community locally. And that is astounding. I can get tips from another parent who is parenting, doing life kind of the same way that I have in mind I want to do my life, and I don't need to be their neighbor. I don't need to be in their homeschool group. So in the same way that I have access to these amazing parents and amazing homeschool moms who are overcoming the same hardships. I can be someone else's encourager in their own battle. So this idea of the virtual community, I think, is a very powerful thing. We should tap into that. No one should feel like they're on an island. No one should feel like they're alone. So my next reason, it's kind of personal, but it's a portfolio of my journey. I read this amazing book on parenting, and she said in the first chapter that she wrote the book for her children. She had 8 kids, and it was just an incredible book, but she said, I don't know if I'm going to remember everything I did when I was a mom to young kids, so I'm going to write these things down so that my children and their children can read this book, can gather from the things that she did as a parent. I loved that. I think that there's so much value there. And it also is kind of a documentation of where we were at as a family as we go along. This next reason, number 7, it's a very personal reason for me, and it is I wanted to be an example to my kids of doing something that did not come naturally, doing something hard. My husband can attest because he knew me before I was able to do anything. He's the one that made me get a smartphone. He's the one that set up my email account because I was like, I don't care. I don't want those things. I want to go outside. I want to read a book. But I have 5 boys, and there are some things that come really naturally to them, super naturally. Sports, they're good at it. And they love to do the things that they're good at. And you know what they don't love? When things get hard and when they're not good at something. How many of you guys know that in school or in life, things come up that are hard and that you're not naturally good at? And I want to be a mom that is not only saying, you guys, you got to do it. It's just something you got to do. But I'm able to use myself as an example and saying, okay, this is what I'm doing every single week. And you know what? It's not easy. And you see me kind of struggling through here, and I'm talking to them. I'm explaining what I'm doing, but it's not easy. And sometimes I get frustrated, but I'm doing it. And I'm going to keep doing it. Do it this week. I'm going to do it next week. And I'm not going to give up. The next reason to do YouTube, building a potential income source. Now, I don't know a lot about this because I haven't yet been successful in making YouTube a stream of revenue. I'm not reduced to never having the possibility of earning money while still being able to stay at home. There are so many avenues out there, so much potential. And to recognize that even though that might not be the first reason I am doing YouTube, it is something that could potentially come. There are possibilities out there. And that to me is so fun and so freeing and so hopeful. My next reason is to have this opportunity to really think about, okay, what would be the one thing I would like to do if I had a platform? What would I like to offer? And to think about these things that maybe you've never given a lot of thought to. I have to be honest, I've been giving thought to this for 2 years, and I still feel like it is an evolving image. I live with a lot of purpose in my daily life, with my kids, with my husband, and the home atmosphere. And to think that I could have this purpose and then carry it out into and onto a platform. And just thinking about that, what would be that purpose that you would live out even if it was bigger than just you and your family in your home? My final reason for doing YouTube and why I would encourage you, if you're on the fence at all, to start a YouTube channel to build confidence. I know as a full-grown woman, not a child anymore, who's been doing life a while, it seems like confidence wouldn't be an issue anymore. And the weird thing is, confidence is always an issue when you don't practice. And when I hole up with my kids and I'm living my best life and I'm being silly and I was supplied with a lantern, not wearing any makeup, you get to a place where you haven't talked about the things you're passionate about in a while and you lose confidence even though you have all of this inside of you. And just by a little practice, even if it's in front of a camera, or in front of a cell phone, and being able to kind of mull over your ideas and the reasons you believe things, what you would present to the world, your information, how you would say that in words. It builds confidence. And it's a gradual process. And sometimes I'm like, why didn't I start this when I'm younger? Here I have to hold my eyebrows so that I don't have all those lines. And the answer is, I didn't have the confidence when I was younger. I didn't have the organization, and I was pretty much crazy with all those young kids. So don't wish you did something way back when. Do something now, if it's in your heart to do. All right, guys, I am Danielle. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for being part of this community I am building on YouTube, and thank you for listening. Remember, no one can mom your kids like you. Start a YouTube channel. Do it. And tell me in the comments what you're going to do your YouTube channel on so I can subscribe and comment on your videos and support you. I'll see you next time.